Hey guys, this is Lucid. We're jumping back into our game with Mekone. And if you recall from the last episode, we were fighting Ctis. And our logic for that was that if we fight Marverni, who is the scarier, bigger player, which I would normally like to gang up on, then that would take pressure off of Xibalba. And I think Xibalba is scarier in the deep late game than Marverni, though they're both definitely more scary than me. And both bigger than me. And so our play was to hope we could fight Ctis and win, with the hope that then maybe we would be big enough to potentially fight one of them and scrap together something. Anyway, so that was our plan. We got attacked here by a horror. That's from being horror marked with lightless lanterns. Here we take this from Machaka, who's dying. And we have a battle here where Ctis raids me with the Wraith Lord, and I'm pretty sure he won, didn't he? Yeah. Wraith Lords will kill infinite PD, and then here we have a big battle. So I'll go ahead and watch this. This is the fort we're sieging. On this side, we have... well, he's got a bunch. He's got adepts of the Silver Order, so he's got air mages. He's got a bunch of Sauromancers. I forget what his bless is. Reinvigoration, magic resistance, Farcaster. He's got some Jade Amazons. He's got some vampires with blood. He's got white mages. He's got tarts. That's an Earth Tart, kitted out to Super Combatant. He's got more tarts though, I think. Doesn't he? I don't know who the base chassis for this was, this white mage. Lots of blood magic. Staff of Storms on that guy. So we'll just see what happens here. On my side, if you recall, we have a bunch of skeletons, because it was the only free spawn we could kind of figure out our way into. Which kind of, I mean, I don't know. I have mixed thoughts on the skeletons, we'll talk about them. But, and then we have a core of troops, who apparently I did not script to hold an attack. Heat from Hell, Natural Storm. Rigor Mortis, that's him putting up Rigor Mortis. Foul Vapors, I don't think I have Relief off. On my side, I've got a few dudes. We've got this guy, the water tart we stole from him. We've got this guy who's going to do Firestorm. And it's... I'm actually recording this pretty far after the fact. It's been a while, so I don't actually remember everything that's happened here. There goes Army of Gold. Yeah, so we've got fire resistance, but shock weakness. He's done Fog Warriors, and I don't think I have air access here. Now for like me committing all in, I probably should be doing Fog Warriors in this fight. I think the other thing I don't have up is I don't have, do I have Mass Regen? I have Mass Regen. Oh, I have Serpent's Blessing up, okay. Because we knew Foul Vapors was going to be coming. Or maybe I just have Poison Ward. Let's see if these guys in the front have, it's been so long. Yeah, okay, we've got Serpent's Blessing up. So... we should be immune to a lot of that. From the fatigue side, I don't think Grip of Winter's up. We do have Heat from Hell. Does he have fire resistance? Let's see what he has. We know he has Fog Warriors. He has also done Army of Gold. So this fire play is not really going to affect either of us terribly much. But it's going to affect the person doing more Skelly spam. Does he have Mass Regen? He also has Mass Regen. So he basically has the same buffs, but he also has Weapons of Sharpness on his guys. Now, I should have put Weapons of Sharpness on my guys. It's one of the things I kind of can do. But it's only kind of can. I mean, this guy, I think he has, yeah. He's done Summon Earth Power, so he gets a, I mean, I have to have a 3 ran, like, so my pull marks can't do it. Well, they could do it with Earth Gems. But that should be something I should have had on this ball of dudes. But it's kind of going to be no contest. Fatigue-wise, we're doing okay. 55 there, though. 40 there. He's got much better mage support, and we're fighting much closer to his mages. Now, I do have magic weapons, so the golden spears are going to be able to poke through fog warriors. And they're going to also be able to poke through 20 protection. But they're not doing a phenomenal amount of damage. Like, if we look up here, we're not doing much. We've got a bunch of terror coming off in here, so our morale is probably pretty shit. Yeah, it's only 8 right now on those guys. But, in terms of kind of like the greater context for all this, Theft of the Sun has made it where I don't basically get any income, so I can't really recruit my units anymore. Now we're routing, which for any of you watching the series will not be surprised, but in this particular context it's not surprising. I mean, we were kind of getting shat on. And now we have Brecken Sky, who is the big giant hope of our nation. He's kind of our coolest dude, but everybody is running around him, and he is getting stuck out here. Now he has a ton of mage support with a shaman communion and other stuff. He's got ghosts mixed in, basically just all around higher quality, higher quality stuff. There's not much that I'm thinking we could have brought as Mekone that would have made this much better. I mean, we could have done weapons of sharpness, but I didn't really have enough troops to start with. That would have helped a lot. That's probably the biggest thing, but like, fire elementals aren't going to help here. Earth elementals aren't going to help. Fog warriors probably wouldn't have helped too much, though it might have. I should have done, I think if I did fog warriors and weapons of sharpness more, I would have felt better about this loss. But I think I still would have lost pretty dramatically. Yeah, if the fight went on longer, I would, like, he's fatigued out. I think I would have got by rigor mortis. Does he have relief up? Yeah, he also has relief. And these things that are, like, trivial for him to do. But I'm, like, I don't have a huge nature income. You know, it's like 15, and from that I need to have people to, like, I need to have my anti-boar squad with beast mastery. I need fairy queens, which is my only way to get, really, air access. I think all the air elemental royalty have been taken, so I can't really spend my air gems. If we look at the battle report here, they end up stealing. Okay, well, I probably should have done it. They steal Brecken Sky with charm, which means I get to keep all his gear, including the friendship hat, which is a pretty expensive unique artifact. It's pretty good. And he had a heroic trait like improved hit points or whatever. So pretty depressing losing him, and then we lose all of this, and he lost basically nothing. Basically nothing. So there are things we could have done better. And we could have definitely brought more mage support, but our mages don't do anything. In the late game, your mages don't do shit. They can still kind of thug, but like then I have to make items for all these guys. Fire and earth are some of the worst low level. When you get to very high level, they kind of become okay. But they're some of the worst low level mage paths. If we're looking at what I could have done, you know, if I had Pillar of Fire and I did Phoenix Power, then they could spit out a few Pillars of Fire, which would not be horrible. But Pillar of Fire is not great versus Army of Gold. Versus Army of Gold, it's going to be doing 34 AP damage, but it's going to basically be reduced to 30 because of, whatchamacallit, because of the fire resistance from Army of Gold. And then they're going to have 20 plus protection. I think those guys were like the Elite Warriors were probably 20, 25 protection. And so it would be like 12 protection versus 30. So, I mean, no, it's pretty good. It would have been good. That's probably the one thing that you could kind of do. But then you're talking about, like, easy to get gym baited, like any magic phase attack or anything like that, that's going to gym bait you into using the one gem you were going to do for Phoenix power. is going to fuck your whole army. And you're basically having to spend 20, you know, if I bring 20 mages, spend 20 gems to get them all up. It's really shitty. It's really shitty. This is just horrible late game mage core. So I could have brought more, but you're bringing some of the least, like, gold efficient late game mages that exist in the game. They're good for thugging and stuff, and they're, yeah. And they don't die to things like flames from the sky, but not too much to say. Now, you know, with Storm up, I could theoretically do Storm Power and then drop some Lightning Bolts, which wouldn't have been horrible. So if I had brought 20 guys, that might have helped. Like, that's the other way to look at this, is, like, how many mages did he bring? He brought a shit ton. Like, how many? He brought, like, 40 or 50, and I brought, like, you know, 10. So, but he can also do a lot more with his stuff. Like, he's got Foul Vapors he can do. Astral and Nature just are so much better late game paths than Fire and Earth. Like, you need Earth access to cast Army of Gold and Ground Army, or, you know, like, he had this guy doing Weapons of Sharpness too, which is really nice. So, like, you need to do a couple of those things. But then that's it. Like, they're not good in high numbers. Whereas Astral Mages are really good in high numbers. Nature Mages, with high-level Nature Mages, which what they're going to be after they communion up, are going to be very good in high numbers. And then Death Mages are obviously awesome in large numbers. So anyway, we got chat on here tactically. Strategically, what that is going to mean... we had these guys rolling here. Did we? Okay, we didn't run into any tarts. Strategically, what this means is we're fucked. We have some idiots here, which are mostly long dead, a few shitty human troops, a few of these giants, and then a few here on this border. The middle of our empire is mostly empty. We basically are making no money a turn. Our effective income is like 800, but then if we have unrest or things like from blood hunting, you're not going to see that show up here. Which we don't have a huge blood hunting operation, but we have a little bit, but it's probably enough to reduce it by another 100 or 200. We're down to like 400 or 500 effective income. We can barely recruit just out of our cap, even though we have 3 caps now. And these losses are extremely hard to replace. Like, if you look at what I lost, we lost an Ivy King. We didn't lose this tart, but we lost our really good dude here. I didn't bring... Honestly, one of the biggest problems is my nature income. And I've done a pretty good job site-searching nature, I just don't have much. And, like, without nature income, that's my only good access to, like, high air. Though I could do, and you can see I have the gems for it, I could do crystal matrices and do artificial communions, which I think would make sense. But if I don't bring a large number of troops, I'm going to be pretty vulnerable to, like, manifestation and stuff, which he's not doing a lot of now, but he's actually... I can't remember if he did it earlier. He's about to start doing it a shit ton. So I could do artificial communions with these guys, especially the ones that have all 3 paths. And then I could fill up my ranks with these shitty guys, maybe with a fire gem or 2. And then they can hopefully do Pillar of Fire once I research it. But, I mean, the thing is, in the late game, to win a game, you have to have... This is something I've kind of figured out, and I don't think it's going to knock any of your socks off, but to win a game, you have to have a decisive competitive advantage that you have to exploit. And, you know, that could be you are able to defend really well, so even if you're able to carve off minor gains in attacking, it's very hard for anybody to take anything from you. It could be you have an army which is like you have 2 doom stacks which are basically unstoppable. You know, it could be you're going to outraid the enemy. You have really good raiders. It could be you have just some overwhelming free spawn that you can afford to take huge losses and just grind your way to victory. It could be you're so big, you have such a big economy, you can afford to take losses. It could be you know, so all these globals up that's giving you enough income you can afford to take losses. Like, you need some kind of competitive advantage. And the situation that we're in right now, especially after losing this force, is we have zero competitive advantage. We have a large southern neighbor, TNN, who we might be able to win a war against, but probably not. Our weakest neighbor we just attacked and we got our asses handed to us. We cannot replace our losses, so that's like, and not even like normally the way a nation would normally, like we're severely handicapped in replacing losses. We have worse mages than everybody around us. We have no blood economy. Ctis has tarts in a tart factory with him taking Gift of Health and having Will of Misery up. There's really nothing good going for us. Yeah. So what we basically lost is what I'm trying to say. Now we're still kind of big, but there's really not much we can do. What we're gonna do is we're going to try to defend against Ctis, and I'm just going to blitz through and show you some of the turns as we try to defend. And it's going to be a little hapless because I have nothing, like this army can't do shit. I can't send super combatants versus a big doom stack because they'll get charmed. Now there are some things I could have done that I didn't do too at a strategic level. One was get tarts faster. My problem getting tarts right now is I don't have high enough death, which you don't get any death as Mekone. I was actually kind of lucky that I got so much death income and I lucked into these mages. What I need to get, and do I not have one right now? Yeah, I need to get a Lich. So to get a Lich, I need to get death 5. What I probably should have done is empower one of these guys in death right now and put a Skull Staff on them and get a Lich. Or, yeah, and then I could do a death Skull Face or whatever, which would, with the Skull Staff and the Lich, would get me up to depth 6. And then that is enough to potentially steal Well of Misery, or potentially, and then once I get up to Conjuration 9, I probably have to empower one more time and I can get tarts. So getting there would have been pretty good. My research is not super fast, but that's something I could have kind of beelined for faster. But we'll see later that even getting that isn't really going to change things. So yeah. I've site searched pretty well. My gem income's not horrible if we look at it. I've got a lot of air, which is mostly from a global. I got a lot of death, but everything else pretty middling for having 3 caps. I mean, it's enough to do stuff, and I've got a pretty big bank. Thing is, with this bank, normally you don't want to have banks, but nature, I really need nature, and I can spend it. Death I can kind of spend, but I also kind of need to get, I'm kind of thinking I want to fight for Well of Misery, or I'm going to need it for empowering. So that's kind of why I have a bank. Like, there's not much I can spend it on now aside from empowering, and if I empower, it's really going to be so that I can do tart summoning. So the death bank is whatever. The astral bank, I should be spending these on artificial communions, I think, but I have limited capacity to make them. And here we're making other stuff. But I probably should have been making more of these. Now again, that's not something Mekone can natively do, but it's something I lucked into. So these I should have spent some. I can't remember if the fight for Earthblood Deepwell was happening or it's already happened. I think it's happening. I think Yomi... Oh wait, I can't remember who took it from who. I think Yomi and someone else took it from Marverni, so it might not have happened yet. But I think I was thinking about trying to take Earthblood Deepwell. And I was also thinking about Vengeful Waters, and I wasn't sure which one I wanted to do. And I was going to try to trade most of these for one of these and then control one of the global. So either put one of these up and trade the other. But in practice, that means having a big bank. And then the air I have really no idea how to spend right now. So yeah, pretty bad. There's some things I could have done too. I've got a big air bank. I could empower these guys in air, and then Death 3, Air 1 is able to do Wailing Winds, which I do have the research for. And that would have helped because these slave warriors have shitty morale. So that actually could have kind of won the fight. Not super efficient, but definitely more efficient than losing an army. And I don't know if it would have, it might have actually won. It might have. So anyway, we're gonna skip through, but the rest of the game, basically I've intellectually given up at this point. We're going to fight Ctis off. And we're actually going to do it successfully. And I'm kind of ruining some of the surprise here. But I'm just gonna skip through, and we're not even gonna click on all the battles, I'm just gonna kind of show you. So here I think he attacked with a tart and we killed it, which was kind of hilarious. I'll just show you that. But we'll mostly just be skipping through these turns. Here I've got... I think that was a Phoenix Pyre. That looks like a Phoenix Pyre. Wait, let's watch that again. I think that was a Phoenix Pyre Wraith Lord. Yeah. He just got fucking popped. You need a lot of reinvigoration to make Phoenix Pyre work. Anyway, we killed those, which were pretty funny. But I'm assuming he's just gonna push down and kill me. He's got a big army here, which wrecked me. And then we're gonna go ahead and go to the next turn. I'm trying to get rid of that Magi too. I was trying to trade for it at this point in time, which is it's a +1 magic booster to everything. And that was my other way to try to climb death. I think Mekone has one, and they kept telling me they were gonna send it to me, or trade it to me, because they're kind of dying off at the moment. I was gonna give them like anything they wanted for it, but it didn't happen. Here he kills those. Oh, we're not gonna watch that, I forgot. Wait, did I? 78, I guess he pings it again, doesn't take it. 79, I think he's going to move down here. But I never end up getting it, and I think that was one of the reasons I skipped Empowering and Death so long. Here, he's raiding me with Vampires, because he's also got a good blood economy, while meanwhile, we've got, like, Scout blood economy, which I think I've kind of turned some of the Scouts off. But, I think, who else is... We've got a blood guy here that's blood hunting. And he's the guy I empowered in Death to get the Fire Death booster, but I'm also empowered him in Blood so he can do Vampires. And then the other nice thing about empowering a Cyclops on Blood is they get the Master Smith, so they can help climb the Blood chain a little easier. I mean, it's still kind of hard. We'll probably have to empower him again, but anyway, they're blood hunting. My goal is if I can get him high enough, I can put all the air boosters and the blood boosters on him, and then he can make a row with a Magi, and then I can use that to climb higher into Death to do Liches, and that will save me having to empower in Death. And if I do that, I potentially could steal Well of Misery. So anyway, that's the thinking. He still hasn't really attacked, so we're just kind of patrolling here. This fort he's popped. And I could attack him from this fort going over here, but I would almost certainly lose. So we're gonna go ahead and go to the next turn, turn 80. You can see he's doing Manifestation here, which is all of these things. Which is pretty easy for him to spam out with Manifestation. I think I abandoned fort here. He did a gem bait too, so he did a magic phase attack to hit my patrollers, and this is basically just a gem bait. Oh. No, it's not just a gem bait. It's actually gonna kill probably a lot of these guys. What's his max HP? Yeah, it kills a lot of them. So if we look at that battle, whoops. This was, okay, it was only my PD though, so that actually did not work out very well for him. But it was a Wrathful Skies super combatant, which is something that can wipe out armies. I think I did it with some success as Yomi. And It was after Agartha used open the seal or crack the seal or whatever, where they had like 300 umbrals, which are really hard to fight without taking a huge amount of losses, and that was the strategy I decided to use there. And then anyway, he has these guys come out, and they're fighting again here, largely PD. And yeah, then everybody runs. Now these guys did not look as buffed up. Yeah. I think artificial communions would have helped. But artificial communions are expensive and slow, especially when you don't have much Earth Astral. I had enough I could have done it, but it's not something I can say you should be doing as Mekone. Though it's something to think about, like taking Earth Astral in your god and then having artificial communions for your most important stacks. Probably worth it. Probably worth it. Anyway, we have a shit ton of PD. I forget how I put just... I didn't have any troops, and I had a little bit of money I got from events. And so I put like all my money into PD because I... You know, what am I going to do? Get like one of these guys at a turn? You know? Like, whatever. So I had just a shit ton of PD. And if you crank up PD on Mekone, you actually do get some of these guys, which are pretty good. But anyway, this is not good. Lost our Ivy King. I think I had actually had him scripted to retreat. No, maybe I didn't. I probably should have. Oh no, I did. How did he fucking die? Oh, he got... I guess he got fatigued out at the end with Rigor Mortis. Okay, whoops. Well, anyway, now they're on top of my fort. I've got a fair amount of undead built up here, maybe like 400 from all these guys summoning, so I'll be using those. I'm expecting he's going to kind of come for his cap, for my cap. These idiots here are going to move out and attack this, because, you know, probably better than just sitting on top of this fort, but I fully expect them to kind of come over here. Problem with doing this is they can potentially lock me out of my fort, like moving an army on top and then... Anyway. Or send a Tart super combatant that will kill me, though I think these guys are scripted with weapons of sharpness. Though this should be like hold and attack rear if I'm going to be doing weapons of sharpness. I should probably switch the order of these. Anyway. But hopefully that'll be enough to kill a Tart. Is kind of the thinking. And then turn 81, we are going to speed through this. Turn 81. Okay, we did not find the Tart. He has cleared the dudes off here. We have been fighting back. We've been... I think this guy came in... Yeah, he's got the Tartarian chains, and so he smacked the Wraith Lord into... He hit him until he started loving him. What's the Mike Tyson quote? Oh, yeah. I'm gonna... Something you two, you love me. It's not hit. He said that to a reporter. Just, it's the way women love to be talked to. Some, like, 300-pound beast of a man saying they're going to do something to you until you love me. I think... I don't know if I give him the stealth armor and sneak him out. I'm not sure. So that was good. We permanently killed a Wraith Lord. There are a few other minor victories here, but we're kind of losing ground. He's on top of this with an army. He's cracked it now. We're basically getting everybody out here. People are breaking siege and fucking running. Things seem kind of peaceful on the other front. The other thing I've done is I'm now holding this, which I took it from Zabalba, but he hasn't tried to take it back yet. We've got a huge scout army here because he can do probably like 10 assassinations a turn. So we'll be somewhat protected by that. And he can do scary fucking assassins too, like assassins that can kill super combatants. So that's 81. We'll go ahead and go to 82. More manifestation. He just probed inside the fort to see what's in there with the shaman. I tried to retreat, but my guys ran back inside the fort. Here... I don't know why Theridos attacked me or whatever, but anyway. Yeah, he's on top of my fort. And then Mekone... not Mekone. Marverni had a golem attack me here, which is kind of funny. This guy, I think he had... I think he did Ritual of Returning or something. And he got, like, banished, I think. And then he just randomly fell on top of this province, which... killed some PD, which is a little annoying, but... What are we gonna do? He's got... Tartarians everywhere that are raiding me. We're going to try to assassinate them. I don't really have great assassin gear, but I have some assassin gear. We've got Holy Scourges and Demon Banes, which are decent first tarts, and I have water bottles, so could work. We're going to try to do that. I don't know if we're doing other raids to take out these tarts. I think we are, but I'm not sure. We'll go ahead and pull up next turn and find out. Turn 83. Like the manifestations have stopped. He attacks here and with a tart and kills everything. Meanwhile, moves his big doom stack over towards my cap. He's pinned me inside of this fort using Brecon Sky with the kit that I had put on him. Brecon Sky, you GD traitor. This is the guy he stole from me. These are all the items. This is a good effing unit. Feels bad. 28 magic resistance and he got charmed. Feels freaking bad, man. Yeah, unfortunately we did not kill this tart with our Holy Scourge Assassins, which I think I thought they would do a little better than they did, but at this point I've already lost, so I'm definitely not doing anything like testing things. I'm just trying to do things that seem like reasonably okay moves. But here we see summon Earth Elementals, does its magic, and then what did he do in the second time? I don't think he has the Earth Hat. Yeah, no Earth Hat. Is this one with the Holy Scourge? Yeah, this one. So this one's probably got a decent shot. Okay, nope. So he gets shat on. We have all these guys move here. Tartarians are roaming around, and basically we're getting set up for a big battle in our capital. So we're going to be doing Summon Earth Power, Phoenix Power, Firestorm. We have all our skeletons patrolling. We've got these guys on hold and attack. We've got Strength of Giants coming out. Lots of Strengths of Giants. We've got Army of Lead. We've got hold and attack. The fire guys are just going to do advance and cast spells. I don't think... Yeah, I didn't do the one fire gem each and have them do... Which would have been better for sure. Do I have... I don't know if I have Evocation... Oh, I do have Evocation 8. So that would have worked. I could have done Pillar of Fire. We're doing Mass Regeneration. We're doing... Gaia's Blessing. My god's patrolling. We're doing Howl. So that's going to give me all the elemental resistances, which is nice. We've got a few anti-tart dudes. Like these guys that are basically going to have Phoenix Pyre and then tart killing weapons. This is an anti-tart guy. This is an anti-tart guy. We've got quite a few of them. We've got a Weapons of Sharpness spammer, which is something I should have done in the previous fight. Galegate, the Galegate caster, we're not bringing her. I'm not sure if I'm bringing somebody... We've got Relief coming up, which is going to help with Rigor Mortis. Oh yeah, this person's doing Mass Flight and Fog Warriors. I'm going to have the numbers advantage, so Mass Flight will probably help, especially... We know he's bringing a pretty big Mage Core that potentially is going to Communion up and Skelly Spam and all that sort of thing, so I think Mass Flight will help, but there's a good chance I'll also have a Staff of Storms. We're doing Grip of Winter, and then I don't know if I'm doing Frostfend. Oh, but I'm doing Gaia's Blessing, so not really relevant. We're doing Contact Naiad, which actually is something I should have been doing. It's a way to turn water gems into nature mages, which is something I probably should have been doing. The problem is they can't really move easily. I think they can move... They're annoying to move, because they take damage, and you have to remember where their home provinces are, and all this bullshit. But anyway, if they're not in their home province, they take damage. But it's a way to turn nature gem, or water gems into nature mages, and we have a shit ton of water gems. So, in a sore lack of nature mages. So it's something we should have been doing more of, I think. But anyway, we're going to have a big battle on our cap. We're bringing everybody in. They got some tarts on top of this. I think I have some we're mind hunting his tarts too, and I think we have some success with that. He's not doing an awesome job putting astral mages with his tarts, so we're picking them off where we can. But it's a pretty low hit rate. And I think that's it. We're going to call it for this episode. We'll pick up next episode, and we'll see if Ctis is able to decapitate me by taking my capital. So far, we've already yielded 2 forts to him, these 2, and he's working on his 3rd and potentially 4th. So things aren't looking good. And I've been skipping through these turns pretty quickly, obviously, as we're talking about them. But I've still been playing them. I've been always, you can see I'm doing an okay job controlling provinces. Like here, you can see we picked off a Tart and a Shaman. He came in here and then kind of killed me, and then my guy escaped and ran. But we're trying to kill all these Tarts that are raiding me. We're going down fighting. So I haven't really given up. But I mean, I've given up my chances of winning. I think my chances of winning are like 0.0000001% chance. Because I don't see any way I'm going to win a war against Ctis, and I don't see any way I'm going to win a war against any of my neighbors. Maybe TNN. But we're still going to go down swinging. So we're fighting back. We're raiding. Here we're assassinating a shit ton of dudes that are on top of here. We've got a bunch of water bottle assassins. I don't know how they'll do, but we'll see. Vampire Lords I may lose against. Anyway, tune back in for the next episode. We will see if Ctis is successful in decapitating me. So see you guys then.